Hi friends, welcome to Creative DIY Purpose. Today we will check out 5 easy image transfer methods using a basic inkjet printer. I have a free download featuring 20 vintage inspired seed packages over on my blog to share with you, along with the written version of this video tutorial. We're going to look at a side-by-side comparison of the transfers along with the pros and cons of each. And lastly, how they look with some antique wax applied. We have a lot to cover, so come on, let's get started. All of the transfers that we'll be looking at today were applied to these wooden planks that I picked up at the Dollar Tree store. We will also be applying the iron-on transfers onto fabric as well. This Tuesday, I'll be posting a bonus video for upcycle projects where we'll be using each one of these transfers, so be sure to check that video out. Iron-on transfers will be the first one that we're looking at today. This is the most expensive type of transfer that I'll be showing today. It is so worth it. It's still budget friendly. You get 6 sheets in a package, and you'll find the links to all of these products in the description box. So you can not only use these type of iron-on transfers on fabric, but you can also use them on wood. You just want to make sure that you don't leave that iron sitting in a spot too long. And another tip would be letting the item cool down before you pull the backing off. And it was the first time that I ever tried ironing them on to wood, and I was surprised with the bright colors. Came out very nice. All right, here I'm applying it to a piece of fabric. I think this is just a scrap of muslin that I had. And I've never had a problem ironing on to fabric. It comes out flawless. I usually let it sit there for about 2 to 3 minutes to cool down. And as long as you pre-wash that fabric prior to ironing on your transfer, you won't have any problems with washing your fabric after with your transfer on. So if you'd like to see more information on this video, I have it in written form along with all the product links and a free printable over on my blog for you, which is linked below. Right up at the top of the page, you'll see that I added a pin for you to be able to post it onto Pinterest and come back to it later. I'd like to thank everyone over on the community tab here on YouTube for all your suggestions for the seed packs. And I have herbs, vegetables, and some more flowers coming in the upcoming videos. One of the simplest ways to do an image transfer is with decoupage. So here we're going to be using tissue paper transfers. The only downside to them is you have to tape the tissue paper down like on a piece of cardstock first. And then, at least for my inkjet printer, I know everyone's is different, I have to spray it twice with the sealer. So it's definitely not the quickest transfer, but it's one of the most inexpensive, and it can be applied to most surfaces very easily. There are a variety of types of Mod Podge available. They even have a dishwasher safe one, or you can just make your own glue mixture. There's several recipes online, or you can even use the spray glue to adhere your image on and then cover the top of the image with the sealer of your choice. So this method isn't the best if you're in a super big hurry, but it's budget friendly and very easy to apply. So please let me know in the comments below if you've tried all 5 of these transfer methods and which one is your favorite go-to. So now we're going to be applying the Waterslide decal paper just like the tissue paper. These need to have a spray sealer applied to them first. If you don't, when you go to soak them in the water, the color will come right off into the water. And if you don't have enough spray sealer on them, they can also become mushy and gummy because that's happened to me before. And I don't want that to happen, you guys, because it's really frustrating. But they come out with such a beautiful, vivid color. I have redone furniture. Matter of fact, I think one of the first YouTube videos that I posted on my channel was a table that I did for my son's dorm room, and it is still in beautiful condition. You can apply them to wood, glass, metal, and they look beautiful when you do them up over the top of some chalk paint. And I'm sorry that I'm out of frame. This one was giving me a little trouble because I had my finger holding the decal and actually had my finger holding the paper on. So there we go. And I'm just taking it's actually some freezer paper, just some wet freezer paper going up over the top of it to smooth out all the bubbles. My greatest tip here is make sure that you've got 2 to 3 coats of spray sealer. I actually apply 3, and make sure that you put a little bit of water onto the surface. Okay, do you guys see how I'm repositioning this? That is the difference with using, and I actually move it again because I just realized it was crooked. But that's because I use the 3 coats of sealer on there. It just gives you more stability. But if you guys haven't tried these, they're really neat. And right now, with the way that they're priced, you get 20 sheets in a package. And so currently they run about 70 to 80 cents a sheet, depending on where you purchase them. The next transfer method that we're going to look at is the freezer paper. So I've just recently been using freezer paper transfers, and up until today, I've always just done them in the black ink, and I thought I would try see how they would print in color. If you like a nice faded age vintage look, this is definitely one of the transfers for you. You don't even have to distress the image after applying. I posted a tutorial with some of the pros and cons and some tips and tricks last week, and I'll make sure that I link that below in case you missed it and would like to check it out. It's a budget-friendly method. The only prep work that you have to do is sometimes, depending on your printer, some may have to tape down their freezer paper onto a piece of cardstock. But other than that, it's just a little bit of patience with transferring the design. In my next video, I will be sharing a project using each of these transfer methods. I applied these to the plain wood and then the painted wood with chalk paint. You can tell, especially around the cornflower word and over on the iris around the leaf, I probably pressed too hard and scratched off some of the paint. All right, I saved the best for last, and this is rice paper transfers. So rice paper is thicker than tissue paper. The colors come out very vivid and bold, and you could actually put this down with Mod Podge, pull it back up, and it's not going to tear. It's budget friendly, and you can apply it to most surfaces. I think in most of my videos for the past few months, I have at least one rice paper upcycle project in every video. And I am planning on making you guys an entire video just from the rice paper. It does come out a lot like the tissue paper, but in a lot less prep time, and it's a little more durable. All right, so now here's our side-by-side comparisons. I think each of these types of transfers have their own benefits. The tissue paper and the rice paper, those images do come out very much the same. Besides, the rice paper does have a little bit more texture. It's great to have 5 different transfer methods depending on the project that you want to do or the supplies that you have on hand, especially with them being very budget friendly. All right, so now let's take a look at applying antique wax to them. I did not bother watering down the antique wax from Waverly. I just used a pretty dry brush. And I'm actually using a scrap of freezer paper that I put down over my work area. So this first one that we're taking a look at is the iron-on transfer. And I love the way that this came out. There was just enough texture for it to pick up the antiquing wax. This next one is the Waterslide decal. And now because the surface of this is super shiny, I would recommend applying a sealer first before applying the wax to help it have something to adhere to. And now we have our freezer paper transfer, and I love this one as well. Definitely excited to do a project using the colored freezer paper transfers and some antique wax really soon. Now applying the antique wax to the tissue paper and the rice paper pretty much came out the same, and I don't think that I pressed record. But I have a picture. The geranium is the tissue paper. The sweet pea is the Waterslide decal. Here's a close-up of the sunflower, which is the freezer paper, and the pink geranium is the rice paper. And then here we have another close-up of the rice paper geranium and the iron-on. Friends, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a super blessed day. I will see you Tuesday, and I'll show you the projects that I made using each of these transfer methods. I will see you then, and God bless.